Hello and welcome. We're gonna make some little chicken nuggets for our cat friends today with a little optional carton. The things you'll need to make these little toys here are gonna be some worsted weight yarn in whatever flavor you want your nuggets to be, 4mm crochet hook, you're gonna want some yarn needles, you're gonna want some scissors for your yarn and some scissors for paper. And also some sort of glue supply. Here's my very ancient hot glue gun. Doesn't have to be a hot glue gun, it could be a cold glue gun or even just glue dots or craft glue, whatever you have handy. Even a glue stick will work, it'll just take a little longer to set. And if you do want to do the carton, I do have a link for it underneath, so you can print it out and cut it out and put it together with me. Otherwise, I think that is everything we need. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're starting out a little different than normal today. Instead of a magic circle, we're just making a slip knot. So we're going to cross the long end of the yarn over the short, and then take a piece of that long yarn through the loop from the back, and just kind of give it a little pull. There's our slip knot. We're going to take our hook, bring it through there, and then just pull the ends until we're right snug up to our hook, and we're going to chain 4. So we're wrapping our yarn over that hook. We're going to pull through 4 stitches, and then we are making 3 single crochet down that chain. So the second little loop from our hook here, we're going to go in, we're going to wrap our yarn, we're going to pull it up, we're going to pull through both of those, and then we're just going to do that 2 more times. And 1 more. So that's our first row complete. And then from here we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our little nugget and then we are going to do that 1 more time. So we're just making 3 single crochets, 1 in each stitch. So going into that first one, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, and 1 more. Here we go. Could be a little tough on the ends to make sure you get both sides of that little loop there. Oh, there we go. And round, or row 3 rather, is going to be a little different. We're turning our work again. This time we're going to be increasing. So just on the ends, we'll be single crocheting 2 into that very first stitch. So we're going in, we wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, and then we're going right back into that same spot and making another single crochet. But this middle stitch here just gets 1 plain single crochet, and then that last one, again, just making sure, because it is on the end, it can be a little harder to get both loops. Make sure we get them both. We'll wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, and then we're going back into that same spot for 1 more single crochet. So now we have 5 across the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to chain 1, and we turn, and we're going to have another plain round or row. Sorry, I'm so used to working in rounds. So we're going in each stitch and just creating another single crochet. So this round will, or row, will end with 5. I like to use those words interchangeably even though they don't mean the same thing, sorry. And I will chain 1 at the end. We're going to turn again. So now we have another increase. We're going to do the same thing where we are only increasing on the 2 ends. So we're going to go in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, go back into that exact same spot. The middle 3 are going to just be plain single crochets, 1 in each stitch. And then that last one is going to be an increase. So going in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, 1 more time. And we're going to chain 1, we're going to turn. And we're almost done with this side. We're going to start a little bit of a decrease here. Sorry, there's like so much fuzz stuck to this ball of yarn. Like a little Velcro ball. Just like we did our increases, our decreases are going to happen just on the ends. We're going to go all the way through wrap, pull up. We're gonna go all the way through the next stitch, wrap, pull up. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're gonna wrap and pull through all 3, and those center 3 stitches, again, just get 1 single crochet in each. And our last 2 stitches are gonna get worked together. So again, we're going through, we wrap, pull up, we're gonna leave that there. I'm gonna go into the next or last stitch here. Wrap, pull up, and wrap, pull through to finish. So now we're back down to 5 stitches across the top, and we've got 1 more decrease. Same idea with our decreases here. Just the end stitches will get decreased. We're going in the next one, pull through all 3 of those. And now we have just 1 stitch in the center to work a plain single crochet. And we're gonna do that one more time, decreasing. So we're going in, we wrap, pull up, go into the next one, wrap, pull up. Now you've got 3 on the hook, wrap, pull through all 3. So we'll chain 1, we'll turn, and now we are back down to 3 stitches. So we are just going to single crochet 1 into each stitch, so we end up with 1 last row of 3 here. Oops. And after this, we're going to be working the sides of our nugget. So we'll chain 1. That is like one side, 1 panel of our chicken nugget here. Things are going to get a little strange here. We're going to be working down this side, and there's no like real defined stitches on the sides because it's just the ends of our rounds or rows. Oh, sorry. It's just the end of our rows. So we're just trying to get in there to create single crochets. Our goal is 8 as we work our way down here. And then when we get here, we are working through the back of that starting chain. We'll do 8 up this side. And then when we get here, we're going to try to get the back loops on. So for now, we're going into the side to create those single crochets. So go in, wrap, pull up, wrap, pull through 2, and just working your way down. We're counting as we go. Our goal is to get to 8. About halfway there. Okay, a couple more. And again, when you get to that bottom 3, so now that side's done, you can see it's finished off there. We are going to turn, and we're working the back of that chain that we started with. So this will be from one side to the other, just those 3 single crochets. It's a little hard to tell, but as long as you're keeping the right count, your nugget will come out nugget shaped. Now we're on that second side. Same thing here. We're going into just kind of the sides of those rows. We want to create 8 on our way up, doing the best we can to get that number. This is probably one of my weirder patterns. It's one that I don't know if I could even write it out because I don't know if it would make sense written, but showing you guys, I'm sure that you'll be able to finish it with me here. I've made it many times, and every time I'm like, should I fix this pattern? It seems weird, but it works. And this was like the millionth version of it to get a nugget that looked like an actual chicken nugget. So now we're going into the back loops only of those last 3. And once we get all 3 of those done, we'll be back at the beginning of where we were. So we're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch and chain 1. Here we go. Okay, we have finished one side and the sides of our nuggets. Now we're going to work on the opposite side. So we're going to flip it here. We are going to single crochet 3 across those 3 stitches at the end. Once we have finished those 3, we're going to work our way joining up the sides. So it's going to kind of close the nugget as we go. So we've got those 3 there, and those next 2 parts of the side we're going to slip stitch 1 more, and we're going to chain 1. We'll be ignoring our slip stitches here as we turn, so we will have enough tension on there to kind of bring everything back together. And we're doing 1 more row of just 3. Making sure you catch both loops. And 1 more here. Ends can be the trickiest part. We got it. And then same thing here. We're gonna grab those next 2 parts of our little sides, making that as snug as you can as you go. Now we're gonna chain 1. We're gonna turn. So we are ignoring, again, those slip stitches, just focusing on the 3 we made. This time we're going to be increasing to bring us up to 5 stitches. So that very first one of the 3, we are going to work 2 single crochets in there, making sure that we get the front and back loop. It gets a little snug in there sometimes. That's okay. That's what we want for a cat toy. And 1 more. That center stitch is just going to have a plain single crochet worked into it. And then that last one will be another increase. Okay, so going in there. And 1 more. And then joining into those next 2. Hold on. This can be a little tricky here, making sure that we're actually catching the right spot. Otherwise you get a crooked nugget. So one more. As snug as we can. We're going to chain 1. And we're going to turn, and now, just like before, we're ignoring those slip stitches and just focusing on the 5 single crochets across the top. We're going to be increasing again. This is going to take us to 7. So we're going in, and then into that same spot. So we're keeping those increases at the ends. And then we're working the center 3 stitches. Yeah, that's right. And then we have a little increase in this last one. So now we have 7 stitches across the top, and we're going to work into those next 2 of the side, pulling everything as close together as you can, so that way it seals up there. You can see there's no gaps, no spaces there. You just gotta make sure it's nice and snug. Chain 1, we're gonna turn, and now we're going to be decreasing for the next one. Okay, so we are ignoring our slip stitches and just focusing on our 7 single crochets. We're going into the first one, bringing that piece over as snugly as we can. We're going to wrap and pull it up. We're going to do the next one, wrap, pull up. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to wrap, pull through all 3, and then just those 3 center single crochets will get 1 single crochet each. This is taking us back down to 5 stitches. And then those last 2 are going to get worked together again. And we wrap, pull through all 3, and then up the sides we are joining. So we go in, make that as snug as we can. 1 more, and we chain 1, and we are going to turn. Now we've got just 5 across, so it's kind of a plain row here. And we are ignoring our slip stitches, just focusing on the 5. getting a little closer together as we get back to the other side here. One more. And just like on all the rest of them, we are slip stitching down 2. And we are going to decrease on the next round, taking us back to 3 stitches across. Just making sure that we are getting those 5 that we are trying to stay focused on here. Okay, we pull up, and same thing on the next one. Pull through all 3 of those. We got 1 in the center, and then we should have just 1 more decrease. And that will bring us back down to 3 stitches across that row. And we're going to slip stitch into those next 2. Yikes, 1 more. And we'll chain 1. And we're going to work our way across those 3. Oops. 1 more, and then slip stitch into those 2 left on the side. Okay, this is where we are going to add in catnip, stuffing, fill it up as much as you want, and it'll poof back out. It's a little janky right now, but once you get everything in there, then once it's all full up there, I guess we could tie it off now. Doesn't really matter. So either, I guess I should make a decision here. Let's go ahead and snip the end of the yarn, leaving a medium length tail. We'll pull all the way through that last one. Okay, so now go ahead and add all your stuff in there, your catnip, your stuffing, and then we will, oh, one tip before you do that, take that tail, that beginning tail, and shove it in there so you don't have to worry about weaving it in later or trying to get it to fit after. Okay, so now all your stuff goes in, we'll meet back up and we'll close it up. Okay, so we've got all of our stuffing stuffed in there. Now we're just going to lace our tail onto our yarn needle. We're going to grab the outsides, so the farther away, closer to the outside leg of our top and bottom rows there, those stitches. We're going to pull that close. We're just kind of closing her up. Going into the next one, same thing. Getting those outside loops. 1 more here. So those last 3 stitches are all sealed up, and then right in that corner there, we'll pick it up 1 more time and just go through to get a little loop, and we'll pull a little knot so that it is all sealed up. And then wherever your last knot there lays the flattest, we're going to take our yarn needle through our toy. Now our tail is safely tucked away on the inside, and we will put a little pressure on there just to make it so that when we snip that tail off, it just pops right back into the toy. So now our little nugget is done. We got one last step to go, and it is totally optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but we do have a little carton we could make. Okay, so if you want to make a little carton for your nuggets, you can. There's a link in the description of the video, so you can print this out if you want to. If you use cardstock, it's a little easier to keep it all together. So we're just cutting out around the outside, and then where these little dashed lines are, you'll also cut into, and then after that, it's kind of easy to see where they'll fold. So go ahead and cut that out. Okay, so we've cut out our shape. We've notched in everywhere where those little dotted lines are. And then after that, everywhere where there is a cut that meets, you are going to fold in the pieces. So from cut to cut, you just fold everywhere there's a cut. And then after that, you just need maybe glue dots if you have those, a hot glue gun if you have that, or even just like a glue stick. It would take a little longer for it to set, but you could use a glue stick. So go ahead and get whatever type of glue you have handy, and we will put this all together. So the parts we want to glue are these two little triangles to the two little sides to start. Just little itty bitty bits. Don't laugh at my glue gun. Thing is 21 years old, so possibly older than you maybe. And same thing on the other side. Our next little spots we want to glue are these tabs here to there, so just lining up that line with the folds, and we'll do that on both sides, just a teeny little bit of glue. And again on the other side. And line up the fold with the edge. And then we got one more little spot up here. We've got this little notch here. That's what we're lining up with the fold there. That keeps these little guys sticking out. So we're going to do that on both sides. Little dot of glue. And then lining up that notch with the fold. And same thing on the other side. And that is it for our container. So now that will catch the little bits that stick out there. We'll catch the little bits that come out here. So now our little optional cartons are done. You could put your little nuggets in there. I think it perfectly fits 4 little nuggets, but you can make as many as you'd like. I think that's it. Now we can just go ahead and give them to our kitty cat friends. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope your kitties like their nuggets.